Hey guys, JC6 here, back with you with Phoenix Wright Justice for All. So we're on case number 4, we're getting close to the end of this trial. So let's press the statement. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. Fingerprints of the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. And what about the button? The button is clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja's costume. Talking about this button, correct? The button was found a piece of Matt's Nakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. With Al Fox again. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. I mean, is Mia reading my mind right now? Since and just for Mr. Wright's sake, please add the information to your testimony. What's presented? Oh shoot. Okay, let me go back. The knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stabbed to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? So let's examine the evidence. The button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it's impossible that this victim was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Or what is the meaning? What's the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? That's really right. Does this mean? There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It's to pin the crime on Mr. Ongard. There's no way anyone could put a bloody button in their own pants. And that's why Mr. Ongard was set up, by the real killer, of course. And the real murderer? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. And you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end. It's Adrian Andrews, I choose you. You're Mr. Korea's killer. What? Man, that's the third pair of glasses so far. Order, Mr. Wright. This is very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? And what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after it had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Ongard naturally. A knife covering the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Oh man, that's a fourth pair of glasses. Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Akama? The button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the victim who found his body or the killer. However, Mr. Ongard was the real killer. There was no way he would have put such incriminating evidence on Akama. The only person who could have put this button to Mr. Ongard's Akama, the person went to wake him up from his nap. It's you yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? That's also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. The costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, stop it! But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints in the glass to show that, yes indeed, she was the classic day's discovery of a dead body. Oh crap. Fifth pair of glasses. After all, there's this photo. The killer as they exit the scene of the crime. No reasonable person ever can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. Ongard. He's been much too short for his own costume level as him. Speak of how tall people are. Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? Got it this time. Miss Andrews, I refuse to testify. What was that? It's the law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Well, yes, you're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination. By allowing a witness to not testify, their testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Engore's room, Adrian Andrews. Yes? Inquire about what we had just discussed, understood? Oh, alright. I said that's when Francisca planned this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. Still, there's one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done. What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? That's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth. Sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proved is circumstantial. It's circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definite proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Carita. As this play leaded me to me incriminating myself, so I abstained from answering. If you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. It's like you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. Me, I wish you would do. Somehow, you landed in the worst possible situation. I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. As Adrian Andrews refused to testify. But that's not true. I request that both the prosecution and defense look forward into this matter at tomorrow's trial. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. Trial, please continue the trial. What are you waiting for? Your client's getting one more day to live, isn't that's not it. This isn't about that. And if I know you know who the real killer is, please let the trial continue. And if I don't get the trial to mine, well, it's possible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. It's not possible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you? It's true Ms. Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination, however. If the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but actually there's one little thing I'm curious about. Ms. Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and can't but think how natural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they're shaking up, not stirring a glass of juice. My actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want you to state that if you have a reason behind your actions. I would like you to testify to that effect. Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. It's his friend or foe, I just don't know. Well, he's obviously friends with us. Didn't he help us during the case by giving us evidence? I mean, didn't he give us that suicide report? So obviously he's friend right now. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Ms. Andrews, if you please. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised to walk into the room saw it in that messy state. And while he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner, when I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I need to include something so trivial. A good thing I know what to do here. You're supposed to present the crime. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. I mean, this is what you saw when you discovered the body? Or what is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a nice sticking strap of Mr. Korea's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that he was a dead man. That's well, you see, if not a single person in this world would mistake this for someone who fainted. Okay, I'll stop right here, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys next time.